Alright, I want to start off with your guys' arguments are quite refreshing. Interesting spin on things. And I'm going to enjoy working with this. This isn't an attitude of I'm going to debunk and ponage and stuff. No, this is the kind of stuff that I look for. I look forward to an actual civil discussion about an issue. Um, you're well spoken. You're respectful. I like the way you go through this stuff. And anyway, YouTube. This is a evolution design. The is ought gap and the existence of God. And I like this. This is cool. Take it away.
Hey YouTube, if you haven't watched this video, I recommend you do. It'll make what I'm about to say much more meaningful. Now I'm going to give a quick refresher and make sure we all understand what the is-ought gap is. Now it makes the claim you cannot derive an ought from an is.
Wait, what does that even mean?
Well, I think it's easiest to explain with an example. So, merely stating that this is a book doesn't tell me whether I ought to read it, or ought to burn it, or ought to put it back on the shelf. Just knowing that it is a book doesn't tell me how I ought to behave.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Stating what is the case doesn't specify what I ought to do.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
But you can bridge the is-ought gap if you have a goal. For example, just stating that this is a book tells me that I ought to read it if my goal is to know what it says. So remember that, because I'm going to come back to it at the end of the video. Now, the purpose of this video is to take a look at life and purpose, to take a look at the evidence and try and answer the questions, are we designed, and can evolution be the designer?
It puts an annotation up there saying the purpose of this video is not is to not disprove evolution. I encourage you guys just listen to what these two have to say. Just listen. It's a good argument. They do a great job with this, and there is no sarcasm or anything in me saying that. I am completely sincere. Okay, let's keep going here.
Alright, let's look at an example of design. Let's say that I designed some scissors to help my friends cut paper more efficiently and in order to make their lives better. Now, the scissors were created with purpose, or the goal of cutting paper and making my friends' lives better. It has a proper functioning. Now, you can use the scissors for whatever you want. You can use them as a paperweight or to open a can, that's fine. However, if one of my friends uses them to stab another friend, that is improper functioning.
No, you backed up on your point prior. Use for whatever you want. You see, the thing is that because it's got a sharp edge, you'd still be able to use it as a weapon, following its specific designs. Sharp edge, being pointy. What it wouldn't do, to be going against its design, would be like trying to use it to launch a model rocket. It can't do it, so it's not going to be able to step outside of its actual physical capabilities. Something that you got to keep in mind when you're saying stuff like this. That part there is a morality issue, and the object in question has no, it doesn't care. It can do what it can do. It can't do anything outside of that. That's not.
That goes against the goal the scissors were created for.
That goes against the goal of the creator of the scissors. But that doesn't mean but it's still very capable.
They were created to make my friends' lives better, and using them to stab one of my friends goes against its intended purpose, so it can have improper functioning. So here's an example of something which is not designed.
Alright, it's my turn. Okay, let's say a rock isn't designed. It's not created with a purpose or a goal, so there's no proper functioning. Because of that, you can use it however you want. There's no wrong way, so it cannot have improper functioning. So now let's talk about humans and look at whether it's more likely we're designed or not.
Improper function, yes it can. You wouldn't be able to use a rock to, let's say, browse the internet as a keyboard, using a rock as a keyboard. I know I'm arguing semantics or whatever, but we're trying to get to the dirt of this. Get our hands dirty with it. Get to the meat and potatoes of it. So yeah, you can only do stuff with it within the object's capabilities. Some people will be more imaginative with it than others, but a rock cannot be used as a magnet. It is not within its physical makeup. So you'd be able to use said objects to everything that would allow within their physical makeup. Rock, scissors, or any examples of other inanimate objects hereafter.
Either we recognize purpose or we only assign purpose. If we recognize purpose, we must be designed.
We can only ever assign purpose. Find out how an object can work, what its physical capabilities are, and then move forward with what we have gained from understanding of said objects.
Alright, so here's an example. Let's say that we haven't chosen any other goals other than one of these. I can drive to my grandma's house for the pleasure of seeing her, or I can drive into an innocent group of people for the pleasure of hurting them. Now, obviously, one of those goals is wrong.
It's the seeing grandma one, right?
No.
Alright, you jumped from talking about the functions of inanimate objects into morality type issues. I know you're trying to make direct correlations with it, but you can't really do that when we're talking about the behaviors of of living beings and the qualities of an inanimate object.
Now, we should hold one of those goals rather than the other. It is our moral sense that tells us this is wrong. It is something that is hardwired into us. It is innate to know that there are some goals we shouldn't have. Now, this point isn't even
But I can agree with what you're saying there.
really up for debate. It's self-evident. For a common example would be torturing innocent babies for fun is wrong. Of course it's wrong.
I don't care if it benefits you or if you enjoy it or if you can get away with it. I don't care what your goal is. You shouldn't do that, meaning the action is improper functioning.
Again, you can't make a thing when we're talking about a behavior is something that is derived from the mind to the function of an inanimate object. They are not the same. You see, the thing is, with an inanimate object, there you have predictability. With biomechanical organisms, that predictability is, although you can be pretty close, you cannot be exact on.
So, if we are not designed, we are like the rock. We have no improper functioning. And if we are designed, we're like the scissors, and we do have proper functioning. Now, we know that we do have proper functioning, or that there's some goals we should choose rather than others. Therefore, we're designed. Now, atheism cannot account for...
That was cute. That was cute. But I think you're not seeing the bigger picture. Again, I appreciate the way you guys put this together. It was really great. It was refreshing to watch how you guys put this together. I really liked it. But you still are missing some bigger points.
being designed. So theism is a better explanation of reality.
If we were to buy into exactly what you were saying there, then I would have to agree. But again, you are comparing the biomechanical organisms with the capability of thinking and moving about their environment with inanimate objects where we actually will have created them, and in many cases will have had a certain purpose in mind, but others can actually see different purpose for those. And then you try to assign morality to those